Hi, it's Michelle Lopez, and for today's post as part of the 30-day Brainstorm Challenge, I'm going to talk about a person who is a source of inspiration in my life, in my professional life in particular, on an ongoing basis. And I've chosen a playground in the background because I think it typifies the characteristics of playfulness, curiosity, energy and experimentation, which I see in this person. And I've also chosen a beret as part of my attire because recently I've been seeing this person wearing a beret in photos and videos online, and I won't keep you in suspense any longer. My source of inspiration today is Helen Blunden from Activate Learning. I came across Helen, I met her online via a Twitter chat around about 2 years ago. Started following her blog where she narrates her work, and I learned a lot about what type of work she does as well as how she works. Because I felt I knew her work well, when I was looking for someone to help come up with a solution for some knowledge sharing challenges in my business, we engaged Helen, and I had the great fortune to work on a project to set up communities of practice with her in my organisation for a number of months. Got to know her very well. And since that time, she's been a source of ongoing inspiration. She was very appropriately awarded the inaugural J. Cross Memorial Award for informal learning and contributions to informal learning recently, because Helen has a lot of expertise in social learning and informal learning, and makes an ongoing contribution through her work and through her blogging and working out loud. Now, what is it about Helen I find inspiring? Firstly, she's exhaustively curious. She will ask lots of questions about things. She'll get in and experiment and try things. She's curious about people, loves being connected to people both in her own industry and exploring outside of her own industry to see what she can learn from those connections. She is extraordinarily resourceful. She seeks to solve problems, and from working with her I really got to see areas where I had become I guess a little ingrained in an organisational culture and adopted a little bit of learned helplessness, and I became more resourceful and I now seek to solve my own problems and to learn things myself a lot more as a result of my exposure to Helen. The other thing about Helen that I find inspiring is the way she connects with others and builds networks. And that's certainly something that I have been prompted to do more of and more effectively, and to look for people outside of my own industry to connect with through Helen's example. She is also an inveterate generator of ideas, and I've seen Helen come up with extensive lists of ways things might be approached in an informal learning or social learning setting to address a particular need or issue. And sometimes when I'm faced with an issue or problem, I'll think to myself, well, how might Helen solve this? And it will help me to brainstorm and come up with ideas and be more creative. So her creativity is really inspiring. The other thing about Helen, which people may not be aware of if they haven't been close to the work she's been doing in her own business and setting up her own business rather than working in a corporate in the past couple of years, is that Helen is incredibly resilient and an incredibly positive person. You know, she'll give something a try, and if it doesn't work, it's not a setback, it's just another opportunity to think differently. And there have been a number of times when I've reached out to Helen where I've had some sort of little setback, and she's really quickly helped me to reframe. So Helen, hats off to you. Thank you so much for your ongoing inspiration. You are a role model. You're someone who nudges me, someone who helps me to stay abreast of what's happening in my industry and keep informed, and someone who continues to encourage and support me. Thank you so much for being an inspiration.